On a clear night, if you look up at the constellation of Boötes, you aren't just looking at stars. You're looking at a graveyard, or perhaps a fortress. Technically, it's called the Boötes Void, a region of space so vast, so impossibly empty, that it defies every law of cosmic evolution we've ever written. To understand the scale, imagine driving across the United States. Usually, you'd see cities, gas stations, and life. Now imagine seeing absolutely nothing. No trees, no cars, no buildings, not even a blade of grass, for 3,000 miles. Then multiply the 3,000 miles by the speed of light and extend it for 300 million years. That is the Boötes Void. If the Milky Way were positioned in the center of this void, we wouldn't have known other galaxies even existed until the 1960s. We would have believed our galaxy was the entire universe, surrounded by an infinite, impenetrable wall of black. We would have lived in total cosmic isolation, blissfully unaware of the billions of light years of structure beyond our dark horizon. We would be a single candle burning in a cathedral of shadows. But here's the problem. The universe is supposed to be uniform. The cosmological principle, the bedrock of modern astronomy, states that on a large enough scale, matter should be distributed evenly. Gravity is supposed to pull matter together into a glowing web of filaments and nodes. The Boötes Void shouldn't exist. It is a 330 million light-year wide violation of everything we know about physics. It's as if you threw a handful of sand on a table and it perfectly avoided one specific spot, forming a circle of absolute nothingness. If a void this large exists, either our understanding of gravity and dark matter is fundamentally broken, or something with an immense, incomprehensible agenda is clearing the neighborhood. As we look deeper into this great nothing, a chilling thought begins to take root. This silence isn't a lack of signal, it's a concealment. This silence might be intentional. In 1981, astronomer Robert Kirshner discovered this hole in the universe. It's a spherical pocket of nothingness that makes up a staggering 0.27% of the observable universe. That sounds like a small percentage until you realize the scale. You could fit nearly 2,000 Milky Ways inside it, side by side, and still have room to spare. According to standard models of galaxy formation, there should be at least 10,000 galaxies in that spot. After 40 years of searching with our most powerful instruments, from the Hubble to the James Webb, we've found 60 lonely, isolated galaxies drifting in a sea of nothingness. They are arranged in a bizarre tube-like shape, leading some astronomers to wonder if they are the scraps left behind by something larger. Why does this matter? Because in a standard universe, the Boötes Void is a statistical impossibility. It's like walking into the heart of London or Tokyo and finding a single square mile where every building, every person, and every atom is gone, replaced by a silent gray fog. No debris, no construction, no explanation. On the other side of the cosmic spectrum, we have structures like the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, a cluster of galaxies 10 billion light-years across. It's so large it shouldn't exist either. The universe simply hasn't been around long enough for gravity to pull that much matter together. Between the too small of the Boötes Void and the too large of the Great Wall, our models are screaming. This has led to the void growth paradox. If the universe isn't old enough to have created this void naturally, then the void was either there from the beginning, a defect in the Big Bang, or it is being engineered. This leads us to the Kardashev Type 3 expansion and the terrifying concept of dark colonization. What if the galaxies aren't gone? What if they've just been covered? In 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson proposed that a sufficiently advanced civilization would eventually outgrow its planet's energy. To survive, they would build a shell, a Dyson sphere, around their entire star to capture 100% of its energy output. To a distant observer, that star would vanish from the visible spectrum, leaving behind only a trace of waste heat in the infrared. Now, take that concept and scale it up to an unimaginable degree. If a civilization reached Type 3 on the Kardashev scale, they wouldn't just colonize a planet or a star system. They would colonize an entire galaxy. They would harvest the very light of their home, turning their galaxy into a dark object. If they began shelling stars across an entire cluster, those galaxies would go dark one by one. To an observer millions of light years away, like us, it would look like the galaxies were simply disappearing. They wouldn't explode, they would just blink out. If this process happened across the 2,000 galaxies missing from the Boötes Void, we wouldn't see light. We would see exactly what we see now, a terrifying empty hole. But there's a catch. Thermodynamic laws state that energy cannot be destroyed. Even a Dyson sphere must emit waste heat. Scientists have conducted searches glimpsing heat from alien technologies, looking for these infrared ghosts. And they found something curious: hundreds of galaxies that emit far more infrared radiation than they should. Are these the factories of the Boötes Void? Is the void not a desert, but the most densely populated region of the universe, hiding behind a cloak of darkness? Imagine a galaxy-spanning civilization. Their population is so vast they require the energy of billions of suns. They would essentially delete themselves from our telescopes to ensure total efficiency. We aren't seeing an absence of life, we are seeing the ultimate victory of life over nature. If a civilization is capable of hiding 2,000 galaxies, they aren't just advanced, they are godlike, and they clearly don't want to be seen. If the Boötes Void is a local mystery, the CMB cold spot is a universal one. When we look at the afterglow of the Big Bang, the cosmic microwave background, the temperature is almost perfectly even across the sky, except for one place, an enormous frigid area in the constellation of Eridanus that shouldn't exist. It is a cold spot where the temperature drops significantly, defying the standard inflationary model of the universe. This cold spot is roughly 1.8 billion light-years across. It's far larger than the Boötes Void. Some physicists, including researchers at Durham University, have proposed a theory that sounds like science fiction. This cold spot is a bruise on our universe. The theory suggests that our universe may have collided with another parallel universe in the distant past. Imagine two soap bubbles bumping in the air. The point of contact leaves a distorted mark. If this is true, the strange emptiness we see in space isn't just about missing stars, it's about the fact that our reality might be just one of many. But there's a darker implication: false vacuum decay. Some theorists suggest that regions like the cold spot or the Boötes Void are areas where the texture of reality has changed. If our universe is in a metastable state, a bubble of a lower energy vacuum could form. This bubble would expand at the speed of light, incinerating every atom and rewiring the laws of physics as it goes. We wouldn't see it coming. 1 second, the stars are there. The next, reality itself has been deleted. Are the voids the footprints of a cosmic reset button? Are we living in a universe that is being slowly replaced by another?